Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. Different video because today we'll go towards the 23-24 ranking of Serie A prediction. Who will be the last one? Who will be the relegated teams? The teams that will enter top 4 and of course asking ourselves and trying to discover who will win the Scudetto. Take that video really seriously because what I will tell you today, I can't fail. It will be 100% of success rate for a simple reason. I did that video with the sport almanacs, with all the prediction from 1950 until eternity. I have everything written here. So in 1 year, when you will come back at the end of Serie A, you will tell me, Beppe, you were right. The book is absolutely not lying. Of course, I'm joking. Why am I doing the video? I'm doing it because a lot of Juventini were asking me, Beppe, we want your opinion, we want your prediction. It's something that is really fun. So yesterday, it was the 15th of August. All the papers were off. They had a bank holiday, so today you can't find any sporting page in Italy. And that's why we are filling in the space with the prediction. Ragazzi, from the last one until the first one, not only the order, but also giving my opinion. Of course I can be wrong. Of course I will be totally wrong. Because Serie A is unpredictable like every single league. Because we are speaking about human. We are speaking about unpredictability. Mercato is still open until the 31st of August. So a team can be weaker, a team can be stronger. We don't know. Last year, Napoli, that won the Scudetto, I've predicted them out of top 4. This because I did a video before the start of Serie A. And then they reinforced themselves really, really well. And they had a fantastic year. But then you have, during the year, injuries. That's a big factor that we, Juventini, we know it. If 1, 2, 3 players, the top players, are not able to play more than 10 games, we have a big problem. Something that you can't predict in the beginning of the season. And then a VAR that is allowing a goal, disallowing a goal. You never know. So don't take that video too seriously. Don't come back with, Beppe, you said unpredictability. Paul Pogba. Paul Pogba is an important factor for Juve that until the last prediction we were thinking that he could come back in the month of September, maybe the month of October. What do we know? This morning, test against Alessandria, Pogba is there and he's playing. And I will tell you even more, he scored. Brace of Rugani, but that's not important. Hans Nicolosi was playing, Pogba was playing, Pogba scored. So you know, things are arriving from day to day that you don't know. Is Pogba a key factor? Yes, he is. Can we count on him to do that prediction? Absolutely not. So we start with the number 20. According to me, it will be Frosinone. Frosinone will be last one. They will be 20th and they will be relegated. Yes, of course, they took Barrenechea in the middle on loan, a player that is really good, that can do really well, that will probably start at a certain moment to be a starter in the team of Eusebio De Francesco that did really fantastically well years ago with Sassuolo, not that bad with Roma, but he lost himself a bit. It's a coach that I don't particularly like. I don't believe in Frosinone doing really well. They have Marchizza, Romagnoli, Haraoui, Bresciani, Cuni, so they invested in new players, probably too many new players in a Frosinone that I don't see going up in the ranking. They are last one in my personal ranking, and we go to the number 19, Verona. Verona that didn't change a lot. They went for Saponara. That's their only big new addition. They sold a few players, not a lot of big name leaving except of Verdi. Again, Saponara entering. They didn't do a really beautiful Serie A last season. We know it. They had difficulties after some big coaches that went to Verona with a lot of grinta that left, like Tudor, for example. A team that this year I don't see remaining in Serie A. Empoli, a solid team that is always, under the radar. This time, I believe that they will go in Serie B with the 18th position. Yes, it's true. They took Ranocchia from Juventus on loan in that midfield that could be potentially a starter. Cancellieri, Pezzella, Ghiasi from Spezia. So they invested also in a new goalkeeper like Caprile. But according to me, losing Vicario, the goalkeeper, to Tottenham, losing the Winter, Akpakpro to Lazio, Lammers, a lot of players that left Empoli. According to me, that 4-2-3-1 from Paolo Zanetti will not be enough to remain in Serie A. And then we go towards the bottom of the one that will remain in Serie A 24-25, the new Cagliari. Cagliari of Claudio Ranieri. Vintage football, the one that was able to win with Leicester. According to me, will be able to save himself. Shomurodov, Sulemana, Yankto, experienced player that is coming back to Serie A. Scuffet in the goal. Augello. They have a lot of players on that left side of the field that they totally changed. But according to me, that vintage experience of Serie A from Claudio Ranieri that went to so many teams abroad and in Italy will make sure that they will be saved this season. Can we expect a lot more from Cagliari? No, but remaining in Serie A, which would be already a success. Then we have Udinese. Udinese is one, according to me, to the big drops, to the big flops of season 23-24. We have a confirmation of Andrea Sotil that last year, after 10 match days, people were already speaking about what if Udinese can enter top 4. What if Udinese is the big surprise and can win the Scudetto? After these 10 games, they totally collapsed, and at a certain moment, they were doing really, really bad, finishing 12th in Serie A. This year, I see them even lower, 16th for Udinese. So, if you are losing players like Udogie, Pereira, Becao, it's a lot, especially if you are not able to replace them accordingly. Yes, it's true, Ake will join, is he a starter? I don't know. The only thing that you are seeing is that, of course, you have that partnership with Watford, with the same owners. 4 players from Watford are joining Udinese, like Camara, you have Cabasele, Ferreira, and Quina. And then another player from Premier League, from Bournemouth, that is Zemura, that could play on the left side. So they are going towards maybe the athleticism, the speed, that physical condition from Premier League. Will it be enough to stay up or maybe even go higher? I'm not sure. I think that Udinese will be one of the negative surprise of Serie A 23-24. We go towards Sassuolo, another, according to me, disappointment. They were already disappointing last season, being 13. This year, I've put them 15th. Vita and Vigna are absolutely not enough if you want to be serious, if you want to go up. Sassuolo has always been a selling team, a team that sold so many players through the year and cashed in a lot. They are fantastic in exit mercato, beautiful managed club, but at a certain moment you are paying all your sales, because you can't just go and go and go every single year and thinking that you can be a club that is thinking about something more than the 10th position. Fratesi leaving, it's one of the last big players. We know that Berardi is linked to Juve, another one, a captain that can possibly leave Sassuolo. I tell you, a team, according to me, that will have a lot of difficulties this year. They will be saved in Serie A, but really difficulties. We go towards number 14. We go to 14 with Monza, the surprise of last year. They started their beautiful remontada with a win over Juventus. We all remember that, with Raffaele Palladino that took over his first game against Juve, won twice, by the way. Beautiful surprise, did really well, but this year I see them with 3 lower position than last year. Where they were 11 this year, they are 14 according to me, with Gagliardini and Kyriakopoulos that absolutely are not enough, are not at the level to increase that surprise effect of Monza last year. They lost so many players. Marlon, that is going back to Shakhtar, but also Rovella, Ranocchia, Gitscher, Sensi, and Carlos Augusto. So many players leaving Monza. Poor Palladino, I want to say. He needs a real miracle to do better than last year, and I really don't see them. 14 is not bad for Monza. Attenzione, we go to Salernitana. According to me, Salernitana is the big question mark. Can fail or they can flop. I've put them 2 positions higher than last year. If yes, they lost Nicolussi Caviglia, they lost Piontek, well, they are in talks with Juventus to have so many players. We are speaking about the Sule, a Miretti, a Nicolussi Caviglia, Gonzalez Facundo, so a lot of players that they can potentially reinforce them. With Paulo Sousa and his experience, with also his beautiful game, I believe that they can do well. I've put them 2 positions higher than last year when they were 15, going to 13. The last weeks of Mercato will decide if Salernitana can go even maybe a bit more higher. Torino, Torino -2. Tamese is the only big name that is arriving from Verona, big name. Bellanova, is Bellanova really the player that you are going to reinforce yourself? I don't know, I am not sure, and then not a lot of sales neither, so it's more or less the same team as last year. I believe that Ivan Juric at a certain moment will be just pissed off because he's not happy about the Mercato and how Cairo is dealing with the team. I believe that something can explode there and having a negative spiral, so I put them in 12th position, 2 positions less than last year. My surprise, my word, put it on the notes, bookmark it, Attenzione, because I go with Lecce. Lecce in position number 11. They have changed their total midfield with Kaba, Ramadani and Rafia. Rafia, ex-Juve player, coming now from Pescara. I believe that Rafia can be one of the revelations of the 23-24 Serie A. I will take him in my fantasy league. Attenzione, Rafia. Attenzione. But also Alkfisk, of course, they are losing Yulmand and Umtiti, experience that is leaving Lecce. Baschirotto, keeping him was a beautiful success from Lecce. So my surprise, I put them 5 positions higher than last year, where they were much lower, 16th. Now they are 11th. Now we enter the top 10 with Genoa. You can consider it a surprise because they were in Serie B last year. They are doing a fantastic mercato. Will it work or not under Gilardino? Big question, but Retegui, Messias, Martin, Torsby, especially the experience of Torsby, the Winter that has been signed also to reinforce the defense together with Dragujin that was already there. Gudmundsson, I believe they have a really good team. Good coach. Don't underestimate Alberto Gilardino, ex-player of La Nazionale that won the World Cup. They could be the surprise that nobody's talking enough about. So Genoa, I see a beautiful Serie A for them. Number 9, Bologna, same position as last year. Again, a certainty, Thiago Motta. They didn't do a lot at the moment on the mercato, but Pökema and Dioye are good players. And there is a player that is not in that starting 11 at the moment, but where I see beautiful things from, it's El Azouzi, ex-Union Saint-Gilloise player that last year I was able to monitor. That is a really good midfielder. So attention to these players. Of course, losing Cambiaso, but especially the experience of Medel and Sansone will have to be compensated by the Serie A experience of their coach Thiago Motta on number 9. Then we go towards the big teams. Number 8. 1 position less than last year for Roma. Roma that is absolutely not convincing me. I know Awar, I know Ndika, players that probably Ndika I would have signed personally. Paredes, Renato Sanchez, Christensen, yes, but at the moment they have no strikers. We have to understand the physical condition of Dybala in that start of the season, but also Abraham. They had 2 months, they are not able to replace him. Belotti looks like a bit better in form than last year with 0 goals in Serie A. Let's see what he can do. Jose Mourinho, I don't believe he can do the miracle. Losing Wijnaldum, that didn't play a lot last year. Losing Matic, one of the giants there in the midfield. It will be a real tough season for Roma, according to me. We go to number 7, Fiorentina. They are actually changing their position with Roma because they go 1 position up. Of course, playing Conference League, it's beautiful for international glory and beautiful image, but on the other side, it is an accumulation of games. Enough for Italiano to do again the miracle. Last year he had a lot of problems in the beginning of the season. Now, pay attention because the mercato has been done quite intelligently. They were missing someone that could score, and Beltran is a player that can be the surprise. Beltran coming from River Plate. You have players like Parisi that Juventus was chasing, that is reinforcing that left side of the field. Arthur, can it be the season of revelation of Arthur? But also Infantino, a player that I was looking from Rosario Central, ex-Di Maria team, can be also a beautiful name. A bet. Fiorentina is betting this season, and then you have Mina from Everton that can reinforce them in the defense. Attenzione, we go higher and higher and higher. Who is on their number 6? Lazio. Lazio that were second last season, we know it. The teams of Maurizio Sarri, more they are used to him, more they are performing. Of course, losing Romero, young talent, is okay, but losing Milinkovic-Savic is a big one, a tough one. But they were smart because they are signing Rovella and Kamada in a new midfield that will reinforce Luis Alberto's position there in the midfield. Pellegrini is there, not that he's a game changer, but pay attention to these players. They also have a Castellanos that is coming from New York City that people are speaking quite well about. So Lazio can do well, yeah, but managing different competition, we know, especially Champions League, that it's not the thing that Maurizio Sarri is appreciating the most. Milan on number 5. The same position as last year. Yes, the same position, because we know it. I will go towards the ranking official one, the one with the points made on the field and not the one with the deducted point of the field. Milan 5th, they changed a lot. Diaz going away to Real Madrid out of loan. Then, because the loan was over, Tonali, big sale to Newcastle. We are already seeing how important Newcastle is for his new team. Ibrahimovic, not that he was playing because he was never playing, but a person like Ibrahimovic, in terms of experience, will miss. They changed a lot. Loftus-Cheek, Romero, Pulisic, Renders, Okafor, Chukwueze, Musa. I see really great individualities. I see beautiful players, but a lot of players. Will they have enough time to integrate all of them? Because all these players, you even sometimes have players that are playing the same position. It's a big question mark for me. I am not sure that it will work immediately. I think that maybe towards the end or the second part of the season, it will be a bit better for Milan, but they will lose so many points in the beginning of the season because they are not yet accorded, that they can maybe lose towards other teams. We enter top 4. Napoli, according to me, will arrive in Champions League, but will have a more difficult year as last year. It's true, they didn't change a lot, which is a miracle, because Osimhen is still there. Let's see if he will stay. Kvaratskhelia is still there. Let's see. No, he will stay. Zielinski, we don't know, but Lobotka, Anguissa, so they have more or less the same team, except of Kim Min-jae that left for Bayern Munich with Nathan that joined them from Bragantino. Let's discover that. Another player that is quite interesting is Cajuste, that is from Reims, from Liga, that I'm really curious to see performing with Napoli. The big change is, of course, sporting director, but especially the coach. Spalletti away, Luis Garcia is coming. Will he be enough to do better than Spalletti? It's impossible because they won the Scudetto, but will he be able to do better than top 4, what I predicted? I am not sure. I believe that after 33 years winning the Scudetto for Napoli, it was really great in a year where all the stars were aligned with that World Cup in the middle and so on and so on. They will have a bit more difficulty because they are title contenders, something that they are absolutely not used to. Number 3, the surprise, you can say maybe, because they are entering top 4, Atalanta. Atalanta that is doing a smart mercato. It will not be the Atalanta that we watched against Juve in that friendly, but Atalanta with potentially Musso or Carnesecchi in the goal. Kolasinac, Bakker is a good player, Scamacca, but also the Ketelaere that is about to be announced, and I really believe that the Ketelaere can do well in Atalanta. Yes, they lost Boga, but Boga didn't perform at Atalanta last season. Yes, they lost Højlund, but will they really lose? With the 9 goals that he scored last season, it was not even a regular starter for the entire season. I don't think so. So I think that Atalanta, after a few games, they will give up on the international competition to focus on Serie A, where they have big chances to do well, especially towards the second part, where they will start winning. So attenzione to Atalanta. Number 2, the Nerazzurri. Nerazzurri on position number 2. They did a mercato that was really focusing on the midfield. Yes, it's true, Samardzic is a off deal, will not happen, but if you are able to go with Fratesi, with Carlos Augusto, with Thuram, you go with another goalkeeper, Sommer, that is a good goalkeeper, Cuadrado, that will be a starter in a few games, maybe even immediately. Yes, you lose Handanovic, Skriniar, but he was not playing last season. Brozovic can be a big loss, but you already changed it with Fratesi. Dzeko, you have Thuram. Lukaku at the moment has been changed with Arnautovic, experienced player that did really well in Serie A with Bologna. Is coming back to his original team. I see them second. According to me, if they are able with 1-2 things to add a bit in the last few weeks, they can be really Scudetto contenders. And then you have the number 1 that, out of scaramanzia, superstition, I will not reveal this year. So you have to do the math. You have to calculate and to check which team I didn't mention, and this is the team that will win the Scudetto 23-24. I don't mention it. Ragazzi, again, this is a fun video. This is a prediction video. What I'm saying today can be totally wrong tomorrow, taking with a grain of salt, but this is at the moment on the 16th of August my idea about how Serie A will look like at the end of the season. I want a maximum of comments. I want to know your opinion, your top 4, your top 10, your top 20 if you want to. In the comments, let me know. I'm curious to read them. Grazie, forza. You. Bye.